Yo guys, this is RBR Short Films 13. I know I haven't made a video in a while. That's because well, I've been working on school and I'm starting to work on Ghostface versus Jason, and sometimes I just don't know what to talk about. And another thing, it's like eventually I want to get an iMac, um you know um so I can edit all those videos and stuff, and I don't have, and with the editing software I have, I'm kind of limited, and my memory on my computer and all this stuff, and I've tried to transfer files to other hard drives, but it's a lot of stuff, so hang in there, guys. I think what's most important about my channel is my movies. That's what I'm really trying to show people. I mean, you guys can watch my videos, but um, I think I'm kind of a boring person in that way. I mean, people barely comment on my videos, so I must be doing something wrong. Um, but anyway, I want to talk about this Slenderman thing. I don't even know what to call this, the title of the video, but there's like this Slenderman story, um, and I don't, I'm just kind of like, whoa, because 3 years ago, I watched this video about Slenderman, and it was like, well, anyway, guys, Slenderman is not real, okay? People need to, you know what I mean? Like, he's a fictional, he's like the most fictional slasher whoever of like all time. I mean, you have Jason, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Ghostface. You have all of the, hell, the freaking Joker. And well, people have blamed the Joker before, but nobody has had a full Heath Ledger look. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm amazed that that people that are, I guess there's like two stories now. There's one of the two girls in Waukesha. They stabbed this girl in the woods, like 17 times or something. She's not dead. She's fine now. I watched the news and all that, and the two girls, they're they could be sentenced to life in prison. I mean, I think they're being tried as adults because I think that's how it is here in Wisconsin. Because here in Wisconsin, the law is like when you turn 17, your brain is fully developed. So no matter whatever action you do, your brain's fully developed, even though your brain is not fully developed by that point. And especially at 12. I mean, you don't know who you are, what you're doing at 12 years old. So I wouldn't give those two girls life in prison. I mean, they're gonna, when they get older. I mean, could you imagine like doing something like that at 12 and you weren't in the right frame of mind, and then all of a sudden, you're in prison when you're 60, 70, and you never had a chance to live your life at all. It's sad. And especially that the girl's doing fine. I don't think life is necessary. She didn't die, even though that's not it's the principle, and I feel bad for that girl. And then there's this other Slenderman story where this girl like stabbed her mom or something, and she blamed it on Slenderman. Here's what I think. I don't think these kids are blaming it on Slenderman. I think they're making an excuse for what their action is. If they're actually blaming it on Slenderman, then we're going back to the first Scream, where, yo, Sid, don't blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative. There hasn't been a Slenderman movie yet. If you guys have watched the Marble Hornets, I've watched the Marble Hornets way back then, and it's a pure fantasy character. It's scary. I've never been on that Slenderman website ever, and it just kind of breaks my heart, you know, um, for like the horror genre, for someone to commit a crime or whatever, any act of violence, and to blame it on a completely fictional character. And if they are, then I mean, it's not quite surprising, because in Scream 2, the killer Mickey, he said he was gonna blame the movies, and all that kind of stuff, and then Billy's mom like, my motive isn't as nice as Mickey's, but it's unsettling, and I worry about. Hopefully, my video is not too long. Okay, 4 minutes. I hope this doesn't affect my movies. 3 years ago, I wanted to do a Slenderman movie. I know, because I was really fascinated by Slender Man, and I thought it was an interesting concept. What I never got about him, like, what I never got about the characters, like why doesn't he ever attack people and break their necks or whatever, and all that kind of stuff, and besides, like stabbing, like Slender Man doesn't have a knife, so I mean, I it's just it's so bizarre for someone to blame those kind of crimes where they're not even wearing the costume or even doing it some sort of way like how it was in the films or website or books or video games, whatever. You know, it's just it's sad, and I just wanted to make a video and talk about it because I want to know what you guys think about this whole Slenderman stuff going on. I think it's insane, and I don't know why this stuff didn't happen a long time ago. But that site, that Slenderman site, I mean, I wouldn't say take it down because I mean it's not their it might be their fault. But like because I've never been to the website, I don't know what the website says. But I mean, if it does say, hey, go kill your friends or something like that needs to be taken down. That's propaganda. You're manipulating people. But if, I remember watching horror films when I was a kid, and I never went and killed kids or whatever. Um, I was shown Freddy versus Jason when I was like 9 years old, and I know. And then I was shown the Rob Zombie remake when I was 11. Yeah, 11-year-old watching a Halloween film that's got like white trash stuff and language and sexual content and brutal violence. Um, it was intense for me at that age to watch it, but at the same time, I really enjoyed those films. In fact, I wouldn't be on YouTube making these horror films if I didn't grow up watching those. In fact, those are, well, the 80s ones, the slasher films, are not as bad as compared to a lot of stuff today. So, kids today are growing up with even more messed up films than it was when I was growing up in the late 90s, throughout the 2000s, all that stuff. And I'm a fan of that kind of genre, and so it's sad that people commit these crimes. These are always going to happen. Back in the '90s, there was like a Ghostface or some sort of school. I don't know what it was, but it was something happened in the '90s that was connected to the Scream series. Someone blamed it on something. I don't know. And then there was like a Halloween Michael Myers story. Someone blamed it on that, and I mean, people, quit blaming your actions on cinema, fantasy, whatever, and blame it on yourself for what you did. Um, because I mean, it's just not right. And like, who's gonna believe you? Oh, Slender Man told me to do it. Like, yeah, people are really gonna believe it. But yet they are young, and I understand that. But at 12, I couldn't. I knew the difference between fake and real. And I have disorders. I have problems. None of them that would you become violent and hurt people. But it's like anxiety, depression, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I watched those films when I was a kid, and I enjoyed those. And they didn't. Well, they may have screwed me up, but hopefully not in a bad way. I mean, I guess I talk calmly with you guys. I don't do any violent crimes, and I make all these movies, and I find it therapeutic. And I worry about the Ghostface versus Jason movie because, I'll be filming, stuff in the woods, for the fights sequence at the. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I mean, there's obviously Ghostface and Jason fight. That's the point of the title. But I'm going to be filming in places, where people could possibly walk in, and I'm afraid that someone could like shoot me or shoot, all the people that are working on the movie, and it's hard to make those kind of films, especially now, I guess, with the Slenderman stuff. People are really sensitive, and it kind of scares me a little bit, but I'm still going to make the movie. I'll try to be as careful as I can where I film this stuff, but I mean, let me ask you guys. If you were walking in the woods by yourself and you saw Jason and these two ghost faces fighting each other, how would you react? Would you freak out? Would you think it was really happening? Um, if someone ever would walk in, I'd be like, nope, we're all good. We're just making a movie. There's the cameras. We're all good. So I just have to be really careful with that. Because when I'm doing it, nobody's getting hurt. It's pure fantasy. It's a film. We're making a movie, but people could look at it as like it's actually happening, and Um, and that's kind of scary, But yeah, this whole Slenderman stuff is wow, and it's crazy, and hopefully the Slenderman stuff will stop. And yeah, but I mean, I am a fan of Slenderman. I think he is scary, but I would never expect for people to blame, on Slenderman for their actions I mean, stabbings. I mean, stabbing like someone 17 times, that would be like a Michael Myers thing or a Jason thing or Ghostface thing or stuff like that. Um, it reminds me of Rob Zombie's remake where young Michael with the clown mask was beating up that bully, and you think that someone would blame it on something like that instead of Slenderman, but whatever. But I'm glad that that girl, that victim, or that girl that got stabbed. I'm glad that she's okay now, and that's all good. And hopefully these two girls don't are not committed for life in prison. That would be terrible because they're only 12. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, and yep, comment below, and I'll talk to you guys soon, and I'll give you guys updates on Ghostface versus Jason. I'm filming in a few days. So I'm really excited. I'm getting this going. So, all right, talk to you guys soon. All right, peace.